Hi, my name is Mandy Irby and I'm the birth nurse. I'm an OB nurse from Southwest Virginia. I worked in L&D for 11 years and I just left in January as my education business grew. I'm also a Lamaze childbirth educator, spinning babies parent educator, peanut ball trainer, and nurse educator. I believe that our bodies are powerful and with the right support, we are unstoppable. I'm on a mission to change birth culture to be more parent-centered and trauma-sensitive. And I do that by supporting parents and parents-to-be through the transition of becoming brave, confident parents, and I help nurses support their patients in voice, choice, and understanding. Essentially, with education comes choice. The more choices and options you have, the easier it is for you to have your best birth possible. But how can you know what it could be like if you don't know what your options are? You can make your own decisions, and only you know what's best for your experience and your family. Share with us below in the comments. What's your biggest fear about giving birth or being a parent? Put it out there in the world so you can start learning about it. It becomes less scary that way. Okay, let's get into it. Let's split this up by type of question. In prenatal visits, the most important questions that parents should be asking their providers during the current health crisis include, what's different about my prenatal appointments? Will there be fewer? Will they be by phone? Can someone come with me? Questions during your birth or about birth that are most important to ask your provider during this current health crisis include, what changes can I expect when I give birth? This might include who can be with me, are masks recommended while giving birth? What if my temperature increases during labor or after an epidural? See what I did there? That can happen. Will that change anything for my baby or for me? And general logistic questions that are really important to ask your provider during this current health crisis. Who do I call if I have an emergency after hours? Where do I go if I'm in labor or need to be seen on L&D? The emergency room, straight to the unit? Those things might have changed. The most important questions that parents can ask their providers during the current health crisis. During labor, am I okay? And is my baby okay? That's a quick and direct way of knowing how critical a situation is. Much of your healthcare team will be strangers, so it's tough to read their facial expressions, especially through a mask. And to know for sure if something is an emergency, time sensitive, or none of the above. This allows you to know how much time you have to make a decision, keep going with how things are, and remind everyone in the room that the choice is yours. All right, this is getting heavy. We just met. Pretty serious. Drop the biggest thing you're excited about in the comments. Is it sparkly hair bows for your baby? No judgment. Is it eating sushi? I totally get that. In my childbirth ed class, I teach about body rights and facility rights. Anything having to do with your body or your baby's body is your human right to make decisions about, even if it seems like an emergency, is an emergency, or even if it's a policy. Did you hear that? For real. If you're not sure, put them in the comments. Let's talk about it. But decisions about your body are your decisions. Facility decisions you have less control over. This includes how many people can be with you in the hospital or in the operating room, illegal activities inside of the building, like drinking alcohol, being physically aggressive. That's a facility rule. Facility decisions also include wearing masks in public places. It's best to communicate with questions. Here's an example. I'm the nurse. Hi, it's our policy that you have an IV during labor. Oh, I didn't realize that. What's it for? It's to give you fluids and medication if you need it or want it. I don't think I want any of that right now. What happens if I don't want an IV right now? Well, we could start one but not run anything in it. That way you don't have a line attached to you, or if you need it later, I can start one later. It might be tougher if you're dehydrated, but I can try. Okay, I can try to stay hydrated on my own. And think about it. Can you help me stay hydrated? I'd like to wait on the IV. Thanks for answering my questions. See? You got more information just from asking those questions. You learned what happens next, what happens after that. If this, then what? If that, then what? All of those questions give you the information you need to make the best decision for you at the time. You can totally change your mind later, by the way. If you're nervous about giving birth during this current health situation, there are a few things you can do. Take a childbirth education class, breastfeeding, chest feeding class, newborn care class. Learn, 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 because the media shows you really scary versions of birth. You will feel more confident, less scared, to know what's normal, what's expected, and what you can do now to make your experience go smoother and easier. Find ways that can help you reduce stress, talking it out, going outside, taking a walk, moving your body, breathe, take 10 deep breaths. Count to 10. Put your feet in water. Imagine yourself somewhere else, beautiful and peaceful. Listen to music. Bake. There are tons of ways. Try some of them out. Some of them you can even do during labor and birth to help you stay grounded. You don't need to prepare much differently during this health crisis except following the stay-at-home orders and encouraging your support person or people to follow them too. If they're sick, they won't be able to be at your side and be your support in the hospital, birth center, or at home while you give birth. You can best stay safe by avoiding other people and keep your newborn with you. That's right, try to avoid the urge to hasten birth. Your baby is safe right where he or she is at right now. Inductions can actually take longer than labor starting on its own. They come with more risks for cesarean and they create longer stays in the hospital. Yikes! That's little known information. Cesarean births have longer hospital stays too. Ooh. Much of this is important to consider anyway, despite the health crisis. The World Health Organization, or the WHO, still encourages parents, backed by mountains of evidence, to keep your baby with you in your room, preferably on your skin, and give them human milk on demand. If you think you're a health risk to your baby, you can ask your hospital to provide you with masks and hand washing facilities to protect your baby. But it's not recommended to separate you guys. In general, it's important for parents to know that they're in control of their bodies and their decisions in pregnancy and in birth. Just like we teach our children that private parts should be respected and ours to make decisions about, that holds true even during pregnancy and birth. If you're not feeling in control or pressured about something, ask for a timeout. Take your phone or your support person or partner with you and talk it out. You can go into the bathroom. Your medical team is there to support you, and they often recommend things, but that doesn't mean that's what's best for you or feels right to you. You've known your body a whole heck of a lot longer than they have, and you're not broken, you're just having a baby. Great question. Important information. Information parents need to know during the current situation. Remember body rules versus facility rules. Body rules include testing you, separating your baby. You've probably heard that mandatory testing is occurring at some facilities. No one's gonna chase you down with a nasal swab, but there are always consequences to each choice. As I tell my 5-year-old, ask them before making a decision. Like always, what great practice. What if I don't get the swab? What if I do? What if it's negative? What if it's positive? You might be considered positive if you decline the test. Ask what that would mean for your birth. And separating you from your baby is a body rule because it's a decision about your baby's body. It may be recommended, but that recommendation is not evidence-based and not recommended by the WHO or the CDC if it's not right for your family. A great question to ask how you can keep your baby safe with you. Such as, doctor, nurse, midwife, how can you support me in keeping my baby safe with me? Good question. After you've given birth, you still have rights about your body and your baby. And the mountains of evidence and the World Health Organization still encourages parents to keep your baby with you in your room, preferably skin to skin, and give human milk on demand. If you think you're a health risk to your baby, you can ask your hospital to provide you with masks and hand washing facilities to protect your baby, but it's not recommended to separate you two. No one can actually separate the two of you. So, whew, breathe a sigh of relief there. If it's recommended, jump into those what if questions that we practiced earlier to see if it's right for you or not. I've got some ways you can cope with postpartum mental and physical health changes while following stay-at-home orders. Number 1, plan ahead. That's right, during pregnancy, you're planning for postpartum. It lasts a whole heck of a lot longer than pregnancy anyway. Start forming your postpartum support team now, right now, like yesterday. Join parent groups online. Join local breastfeeding, chest feeding groups. They're meeting virtually. Find lactation experts in your area or just online that you can connect with so you can reach out anytime, night or day when you really need their help. Lactating is really hard work. Notify your family and friends that you're gearing up for a strong and supportive postpartum time and ask them to reach out regularly. Postpartum is lonely anyway. Stay-at-home orders have the potential to be more isolating than just regular recovery. Go outside at least once a day, nurse's orders, even if it's not sunny. Looking at nature has a positive effect on our well-being, so just do it. Get on Zoom with video anyway, even if you're just fumbling with the baby the whole time. Don't cancel. We're social creatures. We need connection with others. Get help and practice asking for help. People may cook for you and drop it on your porch. Ask for unopened snacks if you don't want them to cook for you, that you can eat with one hand and keep stashed all over the house like a little hamster. I have lots of resources that I would recommend for new or expecting parents. And the first are books, because you can get them on audiobook too. The first book is Pushed. I love the book, The Fourth Trimester. And this book is actually also an app. It's called The Wonder Weeks. And the app is really, really good. You have to pay a little bit for it, but it's so worth it. It's about babies growing up and being teeny tiny weird humans. Of course, Dr. Jack Newman's book on breastfeeding. Lamaze has some great short video clips on YouTube to get you thinking, and I have an online class that's self-paced. It's incredible. It's at birthnurseacademy.com. Try putting on the blinders and stick to stories and visuals of strong, positive, healthy births. I know, it's not realistic to think that if you don't look at something, it won't happen. But the law of attraction is real. Focus on the birth that you want instead of all that crap that can go wrong. My students have shared incredible birth stories with me in the last couple of months. I truly believe you can have a really incredible birth, powerful experience despite these current restrictions, and you have the power to make it happen. Good luck and let us know how it goes.